My background musically is as a trombonist. I was principal bass trombone with the Queensland Symphony Orchestra for 30 years. The moment when I left the orchestra was the day where a conductor stopped and said to me, "Can you play a little bit more in time with the violins?" I didn't know the violins were playing. The reason most musicians have some hearing loss, or certainly the vast bulk of them, in an orchestral setting is that it's just noisy. It's noisy like you would never imagine. It's just no surprise that there's so much loss.
My clinical approach with Tom was a little bit different to my normal clients. Tom had very specific goals. He had never worn a hearing aid, and he obviously worked as a very elegant listener. And I always think that musicians are very auditory aware people. They're able to describe sound in so many different ways that an audiologist wouldn't. So the personalisation really came from him directing his own care, and probably me just being a mentor in that process, trying to be the expert in terms of how he would listen with his hearing aids, but asking him all the time whether we were achieving his goals. In Tom's particular case, his presentation was quite complex. He presented with hearing loss, tinnitus, and sound sensitivity, and his sound sensitivity was quite significant. So I needed to start with quite low amplification. Probably a little bit frustrating for Tom is I told him straight away that it would take a little bit of time for us to acclimatise to that sound. I couldn't use the full dynamic range in the beginning, and we had to slow down the process of amplification quite a lot.
The personalisation of the treatment and how we adjusted the hearing aids was probably the most important thing. All of the hearing aids are good, but unless they're right for you, with some of them and in some settings, it was very uncomfortable. But as we gradually worked and finessed and found just the right settings, we eventually got it to the point where I don't know that I'm wearing them. Most of the hearing aids that I tried, I could hear very well. They were all excellent, but they were really noisy. The Widex sound difference is how natural it is. The moment I put them in, I just said, this is so much more gentle than any of the other hearing aids I've tried. The zero lag technology in the Widex Pure Sound is another level of functionality and comfort, which has been amazing to experience. The lack of a lag, both when someone's speaking to you, but more importantly, your own voice, because what you're hearing through the hearing aid and what you're hearing from your own natural hearing is blended so perfectly together. There's none of that metallic sound, which can be quite disturbing when you've got a hearing aid in, and with this pure sound, I sound like me. And it's that feeling that this is natural, this is how the world is supposed to sound, and that I can connect with it.